So, und damit heiße ich euch wieder willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Metal-Gear-Solid-Reihe. Im letzten Part haben wir das Spiel angefangen mit der Einleitung Erkundung der Versorgungsanlage. Hab euch auch das ganze Prinzip hinter der Mother-Base erklärt und das ganze andere Zeug, wie das Spiel funktioniert und was weiß ich was. Also mehr oder weniger ein Einleitungspart, ein Prologpart, wie auch immer. Und ja, wir wurden beauftragt von einem gewissen Professor Galvez, welcher nun nicht wirklich einer von Costa Rica ist, sondern einer vom KGB, der russische Geheimdienst. Und der hat uns beauftragt, bei Costa Rica was zu untersuchen, nämlich eine bewaffnete Gruppe zu untersuchen, was sie da genau machen, was ihr Ziel ist und so weiter und so fort. Und das, was wir herausgefunden haben, ist, dass diese Gruppe anscheinend Nuklearwaffen nach Costa Rica bringen. Und höchstwahrscheinlich wird unser Ziel sein, dies zu verhindern oder jedenfalls diese Atomwaffen irgendwie loszuwerden. Ja, und jetzt kommen wir hier zu der zweiten Mission. Kontaktieren Sie Sandy Nissen Comandante. Ja, Gott, manchmal kann ich nicht lesen. Begeben Sie sich in die sumpfigen Dschungel von Oslimon. Schlagen Sie sich zum Versteck der Sandinisten durch und nehmen Sie dort Kontakt mit Ihrem Kommandante auf. Ja.
Snake, I rigged that radio so you can contact our young lady friend Paz.
Is she okay?
No need to worry. She's tougher than you think.
Still just a kid.
Which is exactly why she could be an effective source of information. Besides, that little Angel de la Paz is the one who gave us this mission, right?
I guess.
I'll put her on.
Snake,
Paz, where are you?
Ciudad Colon, a school. The teacher told me to stay here until things quiet down.
Teacher? Oh, him. He's... Yeah, that's probably good advice.
See, he has a radio in his room, so we can talk anytime.
Pretty fancy for a teacher.
Promise me, Snake, that you'll bring back peace, and
I know. I'll contact you if I find your friend.
thank you. Snake, if you need to know about Costa Rica, the geography, the climate, the wildlife, anything, just ask me. I know about its history and laws too. We learned it all in school.
Got it. I have a question. I'll ask. What?
In school, I also learned that peace is an unnatural state for human society, and that war is a constant threat to our relationships with others.
That's right.
So, to achieve peace, we have to create it ourselves. Crying about it won't bring it about or make it last. Each one of us must go and seek it out.
You won't find it without making sacrifices. No offense, but I don't know what peace is. Never felt what it's like. Never even been interested in it.
Snake?
Oh, sorry. Listen, Paz, I think your ideas are admirable. I hope they turn out to be right.
Yeah, me too.
Peace is in your name. Who better to help bring it back?
Thanks, Snake. I will be here whenever you need me. See you later.
Snake, use your radio to call people, but stay alert. You're in the middle of a mission and can't afford to let your guard down.
Got it.
Need to know more about Costa Rica? Paz can help you out.
Good to know.
We'll follow their transport route. This should take us straight to their main base.
From what I've seen, it looks like nukes.
Agreed. The key thing now is to confirm whether those spears really are what we think they are, and if so, why they're here.
Follow the transport route. Find the nukes.
That's what I'm thinking. First, we should make contact with the Sandinista Comandante. They can tell us more about what's up ahead. But it looks like their hideout's already come under attack.
We better hope they're still alive.
Snake, infiltrate that cabin and secure the Sandinista's Comandante. Neutralize any guards by knocking them out, putting them to sleep, or even using the Fulton recovery system. You choose how to handle it, boss.
Ja, das war echt verdammt lang und... Haben die noch irgendwas zu sagen? Ja, die haben definitiv noch was zu sagen. Ach du Scheiße. Das machen wir gleich. So, als erstes, ihr könnt erwarten, das ist halt übrigens der Vorbereitungsbildschirm, wie man hier sieht. Ihr könnt erwarten, dass ich größtenteils nur mit mit dem Schleichanzug rumrennen werde. Aus einem sehr guten Grund. Weil man halt hier viel mehr Waffen tragen kann und zudem halt, ne, allgemein auch besser unterwegs ist, weil die Gegner einen schlechter hören und so weiter und so fort. Von daher, ja. Gut, die MK22 werde ich weiterhin behalten. Und ich würde einfach sagen, nehmen wir einfach mal... Ja, was nehmen wir mit für eine Waffe, ne? Ist die Frage. Da die jetzt auch nicht so krass gepanzert sind, können wir einfach mal ganz simpel anfangen mit ein paar Pistolen. Die werde ich halt benutzen, wenn wir halt entdeckt werden. Falls sie entdeckt werden, von daher mal sehen. Ja, und hier haben wir die ganzen Codec-Dinger. Und die werde ich jetzt abspielen. Und das mache ich dann in der Sicht. Von daher werdet ihr mich erst so für ein paar Minuten nicht hören. Und dann spielen wir die Mission.
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant birdhouse, seagulls everywhere. We eventually scraped off most of the rust and bird crap. The underlying structure's intact. Little elbow grease? Man, we should be in business.
Who used to own it anyway? Whatever shape it's in now, somebody sank some serious money into building it.
From what I can tell, an American university built it as a research platform for ocean thermal energy conversion. The name's still on some of the rusty old power turbines. I'm guessing they must have had government and corporate assistance to build it too. But they couldn't solve the thermal efficiency problem, and the project was cancelled. Then after the university abandoned it, a KGB front company scooped it up for next to nothing. At least that's my theory.
How'd the KGB manage to buy a plant built with American capital, front company or not?
Yeah, that professor is quite the operator. One other thing. The plant's set up so that it can join up with other plants of the same standard.
So, they were originally planning on expanding the place, huh?
Hey, let's give it a shot. We can get some more people together and build this place up into a proper home for MSF. You're with me on this, right, boss? Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Kaz, I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Well, like the professor said, Moscow's hell-bent on communizing Latin America.
Yeah, the Cuban intel services are all in the KGB's pocket. You don't think he's got some kind of ulterior motive?
If the CIA is up to something, it's only natural that the KGB wants to know about it. But I doubt they're showing us their full hand.
We'd better watch our backs.
What do you think, Kaz? Why did Paz come all the way to Colombia herself?
It's a long trip to make just to be Exhibit A in Galvez's sales pitch. She's only 16, still a kid. Maybe we should take her wish for peace at face value. Don't forget to give the MSF staff assignments. Where you place people will determine how Mother Base grows.
Right.
That goes for me too. Assign me wherever you think is best.
You? I thought you were second in command.
Don't worry, I've got that covered. But MSF is still small, and I don't have the leisure of sitting around on my butt all day.
I see your point, but...
Not to brag or anything, but I kick ass at whatever job you gave me. Put me in the area you want to focus on developing most. I'll take real good care of the staff there.
Easy, Kaz.
You probably heard this a million times, Snake, but you should always avoid combat with the enemy when possible.
Right.
We're outnumbered and in unfamiliar territory. We won't survive long in a straight fight, even with you on our side.
I know. Avoiding combat is rule number 1 in a sneaking mission.
That's right. Don't let the enemy know where you are, and attack only when necessary, using hit-and-run tactics to cripple them. It's the essence of guerrilla warfare. Going by this map, you've got a lot of different terrain types between you and the hut where the Sandinista Comandante is being held.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Starting with jungle.
The enemy won't be able to see you very well, but your visibility won't be so hot either. Stay alert. Next, you've got the swamps along the river. Make sure you get a good feel for how robust surveillance is before diving in.
Will do.
Finally, there's the boat repair cabin. The Commandante's in there. It's a key enemy outpost, and security is going to be tight. You may have to let brute force do the talking. You still have a long way to go, Snake. Use caution and don't make a racket out there. Got it?
So, are you a student at the University for Peace, Paz?
No, I am still in high school. But Professor Galvez lets me visit his office and study with him every now and then. International law, security, conflict resolution, human rights. We study all these subjects and then use them to build the foundations of peace.
Yeah, I get it. I just never heard the UN had a University for Peace before.
Oh, that. Well, to be precise, it is still being set up. They have started conducting research, but the UN has not passed the necessary resolution yet. Professor Galvez couldn't wait that long.
Oh, right.
Costa Rica abolished its army, and has also hosted the Central American Court of Justice. It is the perfect place to build a university like ours. Don't you think?
Paz, you said Costa Rica has no army, right?
Correct. Article 12 of the Constitution declared that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished. It does permit us to organize armed forces for national defense based on inter-American treaties.
Only temporarily, then.
In effect, yes. But in the years since the Constitution took effect, Costa Rica has not once raised an army.
Paz, how does your country defend itself without an army? Especially in a rough neighborhood like Central America.
With the right kind of diplomacy. If we live up to our ideals and earn the respect of other countries, the international community will support us. The 2 times Nicaragua actually did invade, the conflict was resolved diplomatically under OAS auspices.
Doesn't that leave you depending on the U.S. after all?
American influence is unmatched, it is true. San Jose was critical of American policy at the time, but America supported us all the same. It was because we practiced peaceful diplomacy. That is what I like to think.
That's one way to approach it, sure. But there are countries out there who will use force no matter how bad it looks.
Maybe so. I know my way of thinking probably looks naive to you, but it is not like we expect peace without working for it. Diplomacy is a battle in itself, and we have to make the effort to seek out causes of misfortune and nip them in the bud. It was that kind of thinking that got me trapped in their base.
I'm not blaming you. You haven't done anything wrong.
The army was abolished 25 years ago, the year after the Civil War. I learned about the sorrow of civil war from a very young age, the futility of countrymen fighting each other, and the tragedy. Costa Rica learned the hard way. That is why it abolished its army. It decided to pour its efforts into education instead. More teachers than soldiers was the slogan.
Education is essential, no question. Even Che used to teach reading and writing in between guerrilla campaigns.
Costa Rica was poor at the time. We did not have many resources. I suppose we had to pick one or the other. The military or the schools.
Kaz was telling me Japan has a peace constitution too.
That is right. Apparently, when Costa Rica was drafting its constitution, they looked to the Japanese as a model. Only, Japan's constitution renounces war itself.
Unlike Costa Rica.
But Japan has a self-defense force, right? That I do not get. I think I will ask Mr. Miller about it next time I see him. He said he used to be in the JSDF.
Huh. You're a curious one, are you? Don't study too hard. What was that you were saying? Peace is not the natural state of men? You said you learned it in school.
That is right. They are the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. In 1795, he wrote a book titled Perpetual Peace. Kant argued that it is precisely because peace is unnatural that we have to make it ourselves.
How?
That is what his book is about. Is the concept starting to sound interesting now?
Not really. I belong in a more natural world.
Is that so? My grandparents died in the Civil War. If only we had been at peace, they would not have lost their lives. You actually wish for war?
It's not like I want to hurt innocent civilians, but if someone attacks you, what are you supposed to do? A country needs the strength to defend itself. Otherwise it faces invasion, oppression, political subjugation.
If they would simply stop using force to tangle with each other, countries would not need force to defend themselves.
And how would you guarantee that?
Sorry,
but you have to understand how the world works in order to protect the ones you love. That's not to say ideals aren't important too. They are.
You are right, Snake. Thanks. Peace. Costa Rica's forests are more diverse than you might expect. Not all of them are tropical rainforests. Costa Rica is close to the equator, it is true, but it is also very mountainous.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Go up 4,000 feet in elevation and the temperature drops more than 7 degrees.
There are basically 3 types of forests. The lowlands are covered in tropical rainforests, the highlands by tropical cloud forests, and areas where there is a dry season have tropical dry forests. The lowlands along the Caribbean coast are mostly covered by hot, humid tropical rainforests, what most people envision when they think of jungle. The closely packed trees spread their branches out at great heights to soak up the sun. Their shade makes it dark near the ground, so be careful. Of course, with so little light, few plants can grow on the ground, so it might actually be easier to walk.
So even if you could photosynthesize, it wouldn't do you any good.
Photosynthesize? People cannot do that.
Most people, anyway.
The Development Corporation of Costa Rica, or CODESA, was established 2 years ago. Since President Odubor was elected this year, the state has been putting a lot more effort into development.
The corporate state, so to speak.
Growth is good and all, but there is one thing that bugs me.
What's that?
I cannot help but wonder whether CODESA is not just a front for the CIA.
You mean what the professor was saying about the CIA mercenaries posing as security guards? They were using CODESA as camouflage?
I am worried that development is going to destroy the forests, but I do not suppose it has anything to do with this. This is a tropical rainforest, just like Bosque del Alba. The temperature and humidity can be brutal. El Senegal means place of mud.
No, mud. Great. I'll watch my step.
This area often gets flooded by the river. There are canals here and there carved out by water.
Good good places to hide.
But they will also make it harder for you to see. Be careful, Snake. There should be a suspension bridge around there.
In lowlands like this?
The ground nearby is harder and higher than usual. The river cut through it, eventually creating a valley. There might be another way to get across the river somewhere.
I wouldn't want to run into someone on the bridge.
The valley tends to be misty, so you might not be able to see the water from up there. Fall and it will leave more than a bump.
I'll be careful.
When a river floods an area, the banks can collapse, creating a marsh. You see a lot of them around here.
I'll need to watch the noise my feet make in El Senegal.
There is a marsh on the other side of the river too. The suspension bridge will take you there. The river running through here is Rio del Jade, or the Jade River.
Jade? Are there minerals around here?
No, it refers to the color of the water. You will have to go to Guatemala for jade.
Doesn't look all that pretty from where I'm standing.
We are still in the rainy season, so the river is a little muddy. It will return to normal once the dry season starts. Rivers are an important means of transport around here. They are relatively calm, and there are plenty of canals along the coast too.
A boat would be more than enough to transport some good-sized cargo.
Like a nuclear weapon.
We don't know enough yet. I'll keep looking.
Thank you, Snake.
Ja, und das sind alle Briefing-Dateien, die wir hier haben. Wenn ich hier R1 drücken würde, dann würden wir zu alle Briefing-Dateien kommen. Machen wir aber nicht. Aber das könnt ihr erwarten, dass ich das vor jeder Mission immer mache, dass ich die Briefing-Dateien euch zeige. Und übrigens, oh, entschuldigt, übrigens, da war eine schöne Anspielung an Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, nämlich das mit der Photosynthese. Als Paz gesagt hat, dass Menschen das nicht können, hat ja Snake gesagt, dass die meisten das nicht können. Heißt, es gibt doch welche, die das können, und das war basically eine Anspielung an The End. Also an den alten Mann, wenn ihr euch erinnert. Das war basically eine Anspielung an dem. Was ziemlich cool ist. Aber ja, allgemein werden wir hier sehr viele Dinge von Metal Gear Solid 3 noch hören. Ja, dann auf geht's. Schön, dass Sie hier direkt reinkommen. Ah, stimmt. Wir haben ja das da. Und wir haben das Analysegerät. Okay, kann ich den anderen noch analysieren? Ja. Das Coole ist, da ich ja das Sultan Radar habe, sieht man ja, dass ich das Sichtfeld der Gegner sehen kann. Und zudem, man hört ja, Snake hat kaum Schrittgeräusche. Das ist das Coole gerade. Heißt, der Schleichanzug ist eine der besten Tarnungen, wie ich finde. Einfach weil man halt super leise halt unterwegs sein kann. Schnell und leise. Weil ihr hört ja keine Schritte, wenn ihr mal genau hört. Das Einzige, wo man Schritte hört, minimal, ist, wenn ich hier halt im Stehen renne. Ah, habe ich nicht die... Okay, das muss ich mal beim nächsten Mal ändern, weil gerade habe ich leider nur das Sultan Radar. Ich müsste vielleicht mal die das Umgebungsradar mitnehmen. Das Sultan Radar ist zwar scheiße OP, wie man sieht, weil wir sehen dann halt echt alles. Also Gegner und die Position von uns selbst und so weiter. Also wirklich, das ist halt echt fucking strong. Aber die Sache beim Sultan Radar ist halt, das Ding geht halt recht schnell leer, wie ich finde. Deshalb muss man halt so eine kleine Taktik machen, dass du immer so in einen gewissen Rhythmus halt immer aus- und abzurüsten. Weil wenn man das halt 24/7 halt die ganze Zeit drin hat, dann, ne, das ist halt nicht gut. Weil dadurch relativ schnell der Akku leer geht. Die Sache ist halt... Ich weiß jetzt... Ja.
What's going on?
Okay. So. Muss ich es halt auf dem Wege machen, leider. So, jetzt haben die leider nur 2 Drops immer. Wie wir wissen. Weil, wenn ihr euch erinnert, ich habe ja im letzten Part gesagt, dass die 4 Items droppen, wenn man die überwältigt. Und die lassen... Ja, kann ich das bitte haben? Danke. Und die droppen nur 2 Dinge, wenn man die betäubt. Was halt schade ist. Aber gut. In dieser Situation hätte ich das jetzt auch nicht anders machen können, weil... Die standen halt immer in... Also die Gegner standen immer in ihrem Sichtfeld. Das heißt, die hätten so oder so mich gesehen. Von daher... hätte es jetzt keinen Unterschied gemacht.
What was that?
Ja, manche muss ich leider betäuben. Aber manche kann ich auch hier so überwältigen. Ich werde mal die anderen nicht plündern, aus dem Grund, weil ich nicht will, dass sie schneller wach werden. Von daher, die betäubten Ziele lasse ich mal schön da liegen. Aber die hier plündere ich gerne aus. Damit ich schön viel Munition habe. falls wir jemals Nachschub beantragen müssen. Na, wo gehst du lang, mein Freund? Ja, schon mal nachladen. Okay, du gehst in die Richtung. Alles klar. Dann können wir von hinten kommen. Wenn möglich. Wo war denn jetzt einer? Ah, da.
Negative. We can't spare reinforcements. You'll have to make do with what you have.
Okay. Oh. Nee. So. Gut, dann müsst ihr es halt auf dem Wege machen. Wurde ich doch einmal entdeckt. Ja, und natürlich wie immer, so wie es typisch für das Solitan Radar ist, können wir natürlich das dann nicht mehr verwenden, sobald wir einmal entdeckt worden sind. Das kennen wir ja. Also ja, das Ding funktioniert halt wie in den älteren Metal Gear Solid Teilen 1 und 2. Aber gut, wir haben keinen Schaden genommen, also das ist wenigstens etwas. Wir haben keinen Schaden genommen. Wir wurden zwar entdeckt, aber trotz dessen sehr flawless gemacht. Alles. Von daher bin ich zufrieden.
Guinness! Exchange! No way! What do we do?
Sandinistas, right? I'm looking for someone.
Mi viejo! Shh! He's dead. They killed nuestro viejo.
You're his daughter. Then that makes you his delegado, right? Relax, I'm not your enemy. Cuban.
A cigar? I'll take whatever you've got. I owe you one. But I prefer cigarettes, you know. How do I look? A little like El Che, no? You Cubano?
Colombiano, a photographer. I came to Costa Rica to take pictures of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, quetzals.
You've got no telephoto lens. How do you get your shots?
Telephotos for amateurs. It's all in the timing.
Oh.
Let me smoke
Okay,
too.
we can talk until I finish this. Chico!
Tell me what's going on here.
This place is crawling with soldiers. They don't look like private security, more like hired guns. They're loaded with the latest gear from all over the world.
I heard they're a security force hired by Codessa.
Yeah, and I'm Papa Noel. Those guys are UCLAs.
UCLA's? Let's see it.
I saw them, setting up shop in town. They're planning to do here what they did in Chile.
If that's the case, what are they after?
Whatever it is, it's not us.
You don't think they're here to push you back into Nicaragua?
Impossible. Too much hardware. Too many bases. Didn't you see? They've got helicopters, tanks. It's like we're in Da Nang. There must be something else.
They have a base near here.
There's a factory to the north, across a suspension bridge.
Factory to the north, across a bridge. Have you seen the big transport boat, mercenary crew on the Rio del Jade?
You mean the barge? It's upstream from here. Up toward Irasu.
Any idea what's on it?
I could introduce you to some of our compas up there, but I don't recommend going to the mountains. We've lost a lot of people there. They take us captive, torture us for information about our compas, and then they kill us like pigs.
Got it! Alright!
This was our last hideout, the final refuge for El Frente, after being pushed out of Nicaragua and into this peaceful paradise of Costa Rica. Then, El Monstruo attacked.
A monster.
Y mi viejo. Mi viejo. Papá. He was la esperanza. Our hope.
Now that Papa's gone, my sister's la Comandante de la Revolución.
Do not listen to him. Papa was a hero who fought by Sandino's side. I am only his daughter. You need a special talent to become cacique. It takes someone great to unite all of Las Compas.
Sorry to interrupt, but leaders don't choose themselves. Neither do heroes. You carry on his legacy of La Esperanza, and they'll follow you, no question.
You think so? My compas trust me, but not one of them calls me Comandante.
Amanda!
See what I mean?
El Colibri!
What the hell?
Es un hombre nuevo, an unmanned weapon, a robot!
No! He won't survive the fall!
Out of my way! Better for him to die at the hand of a compa than suffer their torture. Stay here. As long as I'm still alive, I might as well retain. Over here! Fine, Chico! ¡Venceremos!
snake. What was that thing?
Whatever it was, it looked unmanned.
Unmanned? I'd heard rumors, but an operational unit?
What the hell is going on here?
Not to quote Amanda, but the hardware they've got here isn't just unusual, it's overkill, which means one thing. It's nukes. So the question now becomes why?
We can't make that call yet. We need more intel.
How? Our source is dead.
But his daughter isn't.
Good thinking. We can follow her. Head for the next outpost and make contact with Amanda if she's still alive.
Roger.
Ja, werden wir machen. Im nächsten Part. Weil, wie ich ja schon letztens gesagt habe, ich werde die Parts so ungefähr bei 30 Minuten bis 1 Stunde halten, weil ich mir nicht so sicher bin, wie ich die gestalten soll. Von daher denke ich, dass das in dem Sinne, glaube ich, besser ist, wenn ich die so zwischen 30 Minuten und 1 Stunde behalte. Weil wir haben ja noch diese ganzen Briefing-Dateien, dann kommen die Cutscenes dazu und so. Von daher, ich glaube, wir werden immer eine sehr gute Partlänge erreichen. Ja, wir auch bestimmt. Ich gucke mal kurz, haben wir hier Briefing-Dateien? Ja. Haben wir neue? Ja, haben wir. Alles klar. Gut. Hier haben wir halt nur eine neue. Kann sein, dass sie dann im nächsten Part sogar mehrere Missionen machen. Mal sehen. Mal sehen. Gut. Dann würde ich sagen, hiermit würde ich den Part beenden. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Mal wieder bei Let's Play Metal-Gear-Solid Peace Walker. Und ansonsten würde ich einfach sagen, ich wünsche euch was und tschüss.